Hey guys, it is TheFrXion, or Tiger Tank 12, however you want to call me, I don't really care. And today I'm bringing you some IS3 gameplay on the map Sand River, good old Sand River, one of those maps which is being hated or liked pretty much like any other map out there. So we're playing the IS3, one of the best tier 8 heavy, excuse me, tier 8 heavy tanks, and pretty much my favorite tier 8 heavy tank. And yeah, so we're top tier, which is pretty much already the best option you can have here. So instead of going south, we're going up north this time because this tank is so maneuverable and fast, and it's quite well armored, and especially at this tier, it is a big threat. Especially with no artillery, you can use this tank anywhere, and if you play it correctly, there is pretty much no other tank that can take you in a one-on-one, except another IS3. So yeah, that's enough about the IS3. Enough swooning over this tank. So yeah, this gameplay is pretty much just a nice little gameplay. I haven't shown any Top Gun gameplays in a very long time, or just stuff like that, where I get some nice damage and yeah, I get some nice plays. Most of the time now, I just upload videos where I'm bitching about world tanks, and yeah, I'm trying to find my medium right now. I haven't even uploaded anything the last week, but I'm trying to see if I can get something that is interesting and funny at the same time, and interesting. Yeah. So the next video will probably be more of a tutorial, maybe. I'm not sure if you can call it a tutorial, but the next video I'm planning right now is I had a game in my E5, and as you guys, if you have watched some videos from me, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of the E5. It's my favorite tier 10 heavy tank, but that it is kind of yeah, it does have some very bad weak spots that kind of make it rather weak in some terms. But I had a game where if you play the tank correctly and you have the right position pretty much in any tank, but especially in the E5 because it's very hard to find the right position with that huge cupola on top. That you can actually be one of the biggest threats to the enemy. And that was actually a very nice game, and I'll see if I can upload that tomorrow or even today now still, since we still have the weekend right now, Sunday. If you guys are wondering, I was gone for a week. I was in Berlin. We had a little class trip, and I couldn't upload anything in that time, and I didn't play World of Tanks. So the first thing I did, of course, when I came home and hopped on my computer, was I kicked in World of Tanks, started my engines, and lost the first 5 games. Pretty much like every other person who comes back from the vacations and plays World of Tanks. So unfortunately, the recording just had some problems right there. There's some minor issues I have with my recordings. There's a possibility that there's no sound from the game because the new software I'm using, it's called DxStory, and it actually does really record the game very well. The quality is amazing. It doesn't take up that much space like Bandicam did. But the audio is all mixed up, so that's why I have some issues right there. And right here, now, let's get back to the game. You can see I'm getting swarmed by 3 tanks. I took out the one E25, there's a T-34, 3, and E25. Now, I take care of the E25, and this is the reason why so many people enjoy playing the IS-3. This tank is amazing. It is so strong. As you could see right there, the T-34 bounced off my rear, and I just bounced off the M10. And pretty much the E25 and the M10 both were bouncing off my frontal armor, since both their armament doesn't exceed over 75 millimeter. Um, I do not have to be afraid of them penning me if they're not firing APCR, which the 25 was. So that's why I took care of him first. So right there you can see the big misplay of the T-34 right there was that he pretty much let me engage that Panther 10 all by myself, so I could easily take care of him and then focus on him after I took care of the Panther. If he would have followed me right there with the Panther, I would have been dead, and this whole entire game would have looked pretty much different. So right now you can see that this Löwe, um, who hasn't really exceeded in this round, because he should have helped his teammates while they were engaging me, but he was too worried of getting hit by something. And that is exactly why we were able to take out those tanks over there and then focus on the Löwe. And now he's getting all the damage, or he's getting hit by every other tank in this over here at this ridgeline, but he's unable to take out all of us because we're too many. Now that is a classic misplay. You don't want to risk your tank. You're too afraid to move in, and you let the enemies take pretty much the control the engagement and let them take the advantage. And that's exactly what happened. And this is pretty much this was the turning point where we pretty much won this map, because we just cleaned up the entire north. The south was still standing, but not holding up perfectly, but still nonetheless holding their ground. And now we could flank them from behind. Now that is pretty much the turning point, like Stalingrad in 1943 for the Germans in World War II. Yeah, I have so much historical knowledge. It's amazing. Yeah, pretty much. I used to upload a lot of gameplay with a lot of damage. Like, sounds very cocky now when I think about it. Very self-loathing, and yeah. Good that I've started making different videos now. I actually have tried out War Thunder Ground Forces, as they call it, and it is actually quite a lot of fun. It's very different from World of Tanks, which isn't a bad thing, which in my opinion is even a good thing, and it makes a lot of fun. The tanks play very differently. I have the feeling that it's a lot more, there's a lot more immersion, like you're much more with the tank, like you're driving the tank really, because I don't know, the world seems bigger, the maps are a lot bigger, the houses are bigger, and your tank just seems a lot smaller, like next to the houses, and there's artillery and planes, and it's quite a lot of fun. But of course, my main tank game is still World of Tanks. Don't worry about that. I'm not gonna switch sides. Although I've been playing War Thunder for like 3 years now, it's still a lot of fun, just like World of Tanks, but it's different, and that's good. That's the way I like it. So yeah, we're pretty much coming to an end. IS3, you can just see how powerful this tank is. But the accuracy, of course, is, yeah, it could be better with the 122 BL9 gun, but it's a beast otherwise. It's so strong. Yeah, there's no tank that is like the IS3 except for the 110. I'm not sure. I never owned a 110, but it's supposed to be even stronger, even better, and I will maybe get that tank once Once I finished grinding my T-57, this is the next tier 10 tank that I really want to get, and the object 140, of course. I need to have one tier 10 Russian or Soviet medium tank at least, or else my garage of tanks is not complete. So yeah, pretty much right now you can see we've got them all cornered in a very little corner of the map, but my team is not pushing. Like the SU-100 and the T-25, yeah, well, they're pushing now. They were too afraid to engage the 1815 and the VK, even though they were turned towards me, and we're not engaging them at any moment. So yeah, it is kind of weird. A lot of people like to do that and just uh, yeah, call out. Don't do that. If you're playing tanks, play for the team. Don't play for yourself. If you get one or two hits in, and you can pretty much take the fire off a very heavily damaged ally, do it. But don't be a egoist, or whatever you want to call it, because it really doesn't fit this game. Because in the end, you will not achieve anything, since it's a team game. So pretty much, yeah, team game, right? 9 kills. I didn't share with anybody. And 4,500 damage. I think that was a very nice game. And yeah, pretty much Matchmaker gave me this game because in a tier 8 top tier with a good map without artillery, you can roll anything if you know how to play the tanks. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy this video, well, that's great. Then I've achieved something, and I will upload the E5 video some other day as soon as possible, as soon as I have time, and I'll see you guys another day or later. Yeah, pretty much.